Opposed, the ayes have it. We now move to the next item, which is approval of the previous minutes. The Reverend Dr. Carletta Allen couldn't be with us tonight. She's normally the secretary, so you don't have the minutes before you, so we're going to table the minutes. And I'd like to have Larry White. Is he still with us? Mr. White, Larry White. Larry White. Well, I wanted to acknowledge it was Larry White who has provided us with the food and the beverages for this meeting. So in his absence, would you please join me in thanking him? Each month we have an individual who volunteer to provide the food and beverage for the event. Next month, in June, we've already got a volunteer to do that. That's going to be Mike Miller. Is Mike with us? I saw him earlier. We will acknowledge Mike at the time. Mike Miller has agreed to do it for June. Can we get a volunteer that would be willing to provide beverages and food of your choice for the mayor's meeting? Any volunteers? Thank you, sir. Could you give her, stand up, sir. Let's give her a round of applause. Thank you so much. That makes us move it along much faster. Because this is a very important time, in 2 days we're going to begin what's called early voting in the state of Maryland. And as all of you know, this process will have us elect the President of the United States eventually, a United States Senator representing the state of Maryland, a congressperson representing 4 different congressional districts from this particular county. We are fortunate to have not 1, not 2, but 4 congresspersons that represent this district. And we will also be electing judges as well as electing delegates that will be serving at these national conventions that will be taking place. And so what we've done is we've asked candidates and or their representative to make a quick presentation. It's their last pitch to you before the election begins in 2 days. And we're going to start with the presidential and then work down. I will say again, we're going to limit them to no more than 5 minutes max. It would be appreciated if we could do it in 3, but 5 minutes max. And we have representing the campaign for Hillary Clinton, Ben. Would you please stand and introduce yourself and give us a first?
Hi everybody, my name is Ben Brosnahan. I'm the Hillary for America organizer for both Arundel and Howard counties. Thank you for coming. I just want to say that we're running a really aggressive campaign, and that being said, we're calling on all our strong supporters to volunteer a tiny bit of their time to really help us push us over the goal line. I've kind of set up shop over there. I've got placard signs and stickers, so feel free, have as many as you want. A little bit of literature, and I have volunteer sign-up sheets. Please don't hesitate to get involved or find me after. That's pretty much it. I'll keep it short and sweet. The last thing I'd say is that today I received all the yard signs in our office. It's on 820 Ritchie Highway in Mike Miller's building at the old Obama headquarters. So if you want a yard sign or anything like that, feel free to drop by. I'm there anytime between 10 a.m. and about 9 p.m. So come by, hang out with me, keep me company, and I'll give you a yard sign or anything like that. So thank you very much, and if you're interested at all in getting involved, please just come find me after. I'll be over there by the stuff. Thank you.
I don't think we have a representative from either the campaign of Congressman Chris Van Hollen or Congresswoman Donna Edwards. But I will say this to you, but that specific race. In many instances, people have to choose from the lesser of the evil. In this case, we really got 2 great people running for the United States Senate. In my humble opinion, however that race turns out is just going to be fine for the citizens of Maryland. Now, on the congressional race, we have a gentleman here who has many years of experience in public office. He was the state's attorney for Prince George's County. He's now a candidate for the 4th Congressional District, the Honorable Glenn Ivey. Would you come and give us a few words? Yeah, either way you want.
Okay. Good afternoon. I'm Glenn Ivey. I'm running for Congress in Maryland's 4th Congressional District. That's the district that Donna Edwards is currently representing. She's running for the Senate, as you just heard, so it's an open seat. And I've been running for about 13 months now. We've been running hard. We've been reaching out to people, voters in the Anne Arundel County part of the 4th, and also the Prince George's County part of the 4th. I think it's going extremely well. So to give a little background on the campaign. Pretty much we're coming into the home stretch. Early voting starts Thursday. We've raised a little over $1 million, so we feel pretty comfortable about where we are on that front. Exciting news for us today. Former Attorney General Eric Holder endorsed me. We're pretty pleased. And we've also gotten support here in Anne Arundel. Former Governor Glenn Denning, Janet Owens, the last Democrat, I guess, in the county executive's office, John Askell and others, and Rashawn Baker back in Prince George's. So it's been an exciting period for us. We've been doing a lot of outreach in the community, speaking in group. In fact, we were here 3 weeks ago, I guess, speaking to the potential voters, and I feel like it's gone quite well for us. And I think the key point for us here is trying to figure out. Anne Arundel County is carved up into 4 different congressional districts, and so one of the points I've been hearing everywhere I go is sort of a sense of neglect. That people they're based in Prince George's, they're based in Southern Maryland, they're based in Baltimore County or something like that. Nobody's based here, and you want to make sure that you get the representation and attention you deserve. And so I definitely have committed, definitely will open up an office here in Anne Arundel County if I get elected. And I want to make sure I'm out here regularly, every week, just to make sure we're in touch. I think there's a lot of common ground between Prince George's and Anne Arundel. But to be real, there's some differences too. And we got to make sure that everybody, every community is getting what they need for their representation, and especially on Capitol Hill. So
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So thanks so much.
Let me share something with those who live in Anne Arundel County and who's able to vote in Anne Arundel County. All of the races that are taking place are important races. Obviously, when you run for president, a president is very important. The United States Senate is very important. And of course, a congressperson is very important. But here's something that most people are unaware of. If the President of the United States gets elected, whoever becomes president can only serve 2 terms. If you happen to be a United States Senator, you get to serve at least 6 years. And if you are a congressperson, you get to serve 2 years. But there's another office that, in my humble opinion, has the most impact on people living in this county who happen to be African Americans. If you get elected to be a judge, you serve 15 years. So whoever becomes judge will have a tremendous impact on the delivery of justice. The Congress passes laws. Judges interpret and enforce those laws. It's extremely important that we carefully vote for and select a judge. Now, I say all that for the following reason. In this county, during this election, if you're running for judge, you don't run as a Republican and you don't run as a Democrat. In fact, people run for the judgeship. Their name will appear on both ballots, and they will appear without you knowing who the incumbent judges are. You won't know who's a Republican or who's a Democrat. And that was set up that way because the thought is the one office that ought not to be a partisan office is a judge. If If you have to appear before a judge, it shouldn't make a difference whether he or she is a Democrat or Republican. They should treat everybody fairly. But that ain't life in the real world. And so something has happened here in Arundel that is very disturbing. The Democratic Central Committee and the Democratic Party has permitted all candidates running for judge, whether they're Republican or Democrat, to appear and give their best pitch. In Anne Arundel County, the Republican Party has not allowed the Democrats to appear. And in this case, which makes it even worse, in Anne Arundel County's history, we have never elected or appointed an African-American woman to ever serve on the circuit court. And we've been having judges for 365 years. We've only had 2 African-Americans in that entire time who happen to be men to serve. Only 2. And the last one that was appointed and ran for election lost. His name was Judge Rodney Warren. So the person that becomes judge is extremely important. Sorry about that. The person who becomes judge is extremely important for us. And something happened that I want to just underscore before I bring on the next speaker. Been around a long time in this county. People have applied for judgeships and have been passed over. As I told you, no woman, African-American woman, has ever been appointed. Many qualified lawyers have applied. Some you know. Keith Gross, a graduate of the United States Naval Academy, was passed over. Women who you know who applied were passed over. And of course, African-American men was passed over. And most of them, all of them, just went away quietly. And some even made the point that there's no use even applying if you are black and you're a lawyer and you want to apply in Anne Arundel, because they won't consider you. But one of the men who applied for that position said that's not the way it's supposed to work in America. What's going on in Anne Arundel is wrong. So he's done 2 things that I think is worthy to point out. One, he said, if we're going to have justice, and if one wants to get a judgeship, it ought to be based on merit. So he filed for the first time in the history of the state of Maryland a lawsuit challenging the way judges are appointed in this state. And then secondly, he decided that he would take his credentials and his story and bring it to the voters and let them decide. Please join me in welcoming to the podium our next speaker, the Reverend Ricky Nelson Jones.
I'm 5 minutes, I want to make sure I go over my time. Let me say, last time you heard me speak, I was talking about what's going on, but I want to address this a little differently today. I live in a pretty upscale neighborhood. To my right-hand side is an interracial couple. Behind me is an Asian family. Next to them is another interracial couple, Caucasian and Asian. To my left is an African-American family. Across the street from them is an interracial couple, Caucasian and African-American. Across the street from them is an African family. I'm talking about the continent Africa. Next to them is a Middle Eastern family. If you go to the corner and turn around the corner, is a gay couple. Directly across the street from where I live is a Caucasian male with his motorcycle and pickup truck. When we had that snowstorm a few weeks ago, he tried to bring his pickup truck into the street and go somewhere. He got stuck. Since I had finished with my snowblower, clear my driveway, he and I in the middle of the street, I'm digging the snow up on his tires. He's digging the snow from up on his tires. I'm pushing in front of this pickup truck to try and back this thing back up on the driveway. Why am I saying that to you? Diversity is not only the wisdom of the day, diversity is the reality of the day. The Circuit Court for Anne Arundel County is all Caucasian. Since 2006, the Judicial Nominating Commission has not recommended any Asians, any Hispanics, any Pacific Islanders, any Native Hawaiians, anybody of a mixed racial heritage, which surprised me. It has been all Caucasians, 22 recommendations to the governor since 2006. In the 21st century, that's a disgrace before God. The county is nearly a third minority, the state is 40% minority, and in a few years the country will be majority minority. This is a disgrace. And you know what's worse than that? If I may address the elephant in the room, and then I'm going to sit down. When the Republican Party decided to have a forum, and they invited the 5 Republicans who are all white, and left out Administrative Judge Barber and myself,